Hey, well, I was talking to Zerpal, and it dawned on me that I probably could do a little update on a couple of the things that I had talked about in the last few months and where I'm at with those things. A couple of you sent emails kind of asking about it, and I know I didn't respond. It was because I wasn't really sure what to say yet, because I was still kind of figuring out kind of where I was. But at any rate, if you've been watching, you know that I, at about 10 months post-op, I was still wearing my pre-op clothes and was having a hard time parting with those, and kind of just woke up one day and decided today's the freaking day, and just kind of banged through it. And I posted some videos about it, and I was still pretty it was emotional, you know, and that is all true. What I was talking to Zerpal about is the reason that I did it the way that I did is because I had waited so long for some kind of revelation or something that would somehow make my unnatural attachment to the clothes make sense. And I have learned in this little journey in the past few years that sometimes you're not going to have those moments of aha, you know, of clarity and, oh, that's how I fix that or whatever. I think sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, and in that is your lesson, and whatever is that sometimes shit just needs to be done, and there's not going to be any rhyme or reason, and there's not going to be any justification or any permission. And I think part of being able to get through life and surviving and all of that is just being able to kind of power through some things. And what I found happens with issues like that is that you do that, and that you have to accept that you're going to suffer the consequences of that action. For me, it was some emotional fallout because, there wasn't this whole process of separating from the clothes. But in actuality, there was, because I had been going on and on with it in my mind for quite a while. So it just wasn't a neat and tidy little process. So once I had that weekend where I just got rid of everything and then burned what was left, I remember that the next couple of days were, I was just kind of emotional. I would get very upset when it was time to get dressed and stuff, because I was faced with being left with clothes that were more appropriately sized, and they weren't my good old standbys and my favorites and my comfies and all of that, and I couldn't go to a bag and just dig out my old stuff because it was gone. But within just a couple of few days, it all just kind of went away. And I was telling Zerpal that, I don't even think about the clothes anymore unless I'm watching a video and somebody else is dealing with it, or sometimes I open my closet and I think about it because I look at all the stuff I have now, and I'm used to my things now. I'm okay with it. I don't have any issues with it. I also don't have any unnatural attachments to these clothes. I've, as a matter of fact, since then have gone through a couple of different size changes, and it's fine now. I'm okay now. It went away like it never was there. It just went away. All of the anxiety, all of the stress, all of the issues around that weird, unnatural attachment to those clothes just was gone. And just total relief and release from that. And I'm thankful for it now. It didn't feel very good in the moment, but of course now I'm a couple of months past that, and I rarely even think about it. It was so consuming and such an issue for me and so overwhelming that it just I couldn't imagine ever getting to the other side of it and feeling okay with it. And, certainly in those couple of days afterwards, I couldn't imagine being okay with the way that I had handled it, because, I had a couple of moments of, I should have just kept a couple of things, But that's like saying I'll just eat at McDonald's once, So I'm totally fine with the clothes situation. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. I never had any great revelation, and that's okay. It's not like whatever it was doesn't still exist probably somewhere, and I'm working on it somewhere else. But it's just gone. There's no emotional fallout really from any of that. As far as like the identity issues and dealing with the change in my body and my appearance and things like that, I'm not nearly where I was. Of course, I'm more used to seeing myself now, so that takes hold. And I've become a little bit more accepting, I think, of the fact that major changes are going to happen, and I have to accept that, and I have to know that, and I can't let that be what gets me. It is still hard for me some days to look in the mirror, and not because of the looks of how it looks, just because of how it looks. Some days it's still just I just almost don't recognize me, and that's okay. It is okay to go through that. It is okay to have those feelings. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just coming to terms. I still have weight to lose, so I'm at a point now where I'm actually probably more conscious of the body change at this point than I have been all along. It seems, for me personally, it seems to be happening more rapidly now. Maybe because I'm paying more attention. I don't know. But I'm okay with how it's all going. I'm not. It doesn't get me like it did in the beginning, and I assume in time it won't get me at all. Part of that is that wanting to, still be identified as, or identify with, the fat girl. Because I can't tell you how many times the physical therapist or somebody will say something, ask me to do something, or want me to do something, and my very first thought is, Jesus, are you higher than me? What the hell? What makes you think I can do that? And then it dawns on me that, maybe I can. Maybe I can sit like that. Maybe I can fit in that chair. Maybe I can walk that far. But my initial response and reaction is still all fat girl. That's just the truth. It really is. I'm working on it. The difference, as far as progression goes, is that may still be my first reaction, but I've moved to a point that I recognize that voice as soon as I hear it, and I shoot it down. But it is still the first reaction I have. I can't, I don't, because I'm standing there still trapped behind my 500 pounds sometimes, and the person looking at me and talking to me is not seeing that person, and may have never seen that person before, in the case of like my physical therapist. So while we've talked and he's known that I've had mobility issues and things of that nature, when he looks at me and deals with me, he is in the here and the now. He's not stuck back with the 500-pound Julie who couldn't move and who couldn't have done it. And so there's still an issue there. There's still some work to be done there to really merge with my new self and really let that old self die away completely. But we all go kicking and screaming in some respect, and I'm very aware of that train of thought, and I try to stay very conscious of it and talk myself out of it and tell myself that new different story, and it is getting better a little bit at a time. So I'm content with where things are, which is what I wasn't before. So that's marked improvement and success so far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so there's my little update on a couple of the issues that I've talked about, and just how it plays out for me. It seems to work that way for me every time. It's really traumatic in the moment, and then it's okay, and I'm okay. And so now we're on to the next mess. Yay, fun. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a really great Saturday night. I think I am going to go put my jammies on and lay on the couch. That sounds like a great Saturday evening plan. Anyway, thanks for the questions and the concern, and for all of your great comments. I hope you guys are all experiencing great success, and I will talk to you later.